All right, what is up, everybody? Happy Saturday. Man, we're out here. It's like almost Christmas time. Some people have got stuff going on. Usually during the day, everybody turns off their lights and their inflatables and everything. So we're, a couple hours from sunset and getting ready to see all the magic come out. I absolutely love it every night. Seems like more and more people are starting to finish up their decorating and really hitting the holiday that's coming up in about less than a week. So I've had my Christmas stuff up for, for, month and a half. I started a long time ago. I got a lot going on. So anyway, today, what I wanted to talk to you about is what I've found in my new pursuit of better health is there are three glaring negatives. The three worst things that I've noticed about losing a crap ton of weight over the last year. I've actually lost about 45 pounds and kept it off. And that's the most important part is I didn't just lose weight in a short period of time and then, put it back on. I actually have had my weight under control and managed and actually continuing a downward trend for over a year. And so what is exciting is that I found that there are some negatives that come with this, but they also have positive spins on them. So the very first one is none of my clothes fit anymore. Travis, what's going on, man? My clothes are all way too big now. I've been a big dude my whole life and always, enjoyed comfortable clothes. I don't like when they're tight. And so I've always leaned towards a bigger size anyway. And when I got to the point, I'm 5'9", but I got to 250 pounds. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but for me, holy crap, it was a ton. And getting to, hide that, you do it with big clothes. You hide in the big baggy stuff. Almost everything I own is black because black also hides the ability to see your sides and all that kind of stuff, right? And so the whole clothing game for me is now like tolerable. I kind of been the same size 36 pants my whole life. Sometimes they were tight, sometimes they were loose, but like it is getting to the point now where my belt, you put your belt on, it goes through the first loop right to the right side of your pants, to the right side of your zipper. It's almost hitting the next loop on my side for my belts. And so not only am I talking about my pants are getting too big, I have to cinch them with my belt, but I'm running out of holes on my belt. So I had to get the kind that don't have holes. They got the two loops and everything. So that's such a, it's a negative in the fact that I have lots of clothes that I've had for a long, long time and lots of nice clothes. Some of them are practically brand new. And I'm getting to the decision time of man, when do I bite the bullet and start buying a size down? And what that really comes down to is a commitment. It's not financially, I'm doing all right. But really, yeah, it's not about the financial thing. Buying a belt is no big deal. I already did that game, but it's all of my stuff, all my pants, my shirts, all my sweatshirts, coats. I will never go down in size because my shoulders are too big, so I won't ever have to buy smaller coats. But everything else is really getting to that oversized thing where it's not just baggy anymore. It's I'm swimming in my clothes. Cheap. Not cheap, believe me, man. Spend plenty of money on clothes, but it is one of the downsides to losing weight, and 100% am I cool at accepting that be one of the negative things. I can manage that. So because the positives are so huge for me, just feeling amazing. Haven't been able to do some of the things that I've done in the last year in quite a long time with the ease that I've done them. And it really comes down to the next point, which is energy. Holy crap. Do I have more energy? And that is number two is it's kind of a problem sometimes because I can't just sit down and relax. My energy is through the roof all the time. Even at work, I work from home, but I'm standing all the time. I have to remind myself to sit down because I'm just standing. I'm upbeat all day long. I manage about 19 people. And I appreciate that, Travis. I got you, man. This dude knows. This dude's been around the game a long time for me and just in the fitness world. So you've come your own way too, man. I appreciate what you're doing. So we're in a sense now we're like, it's hard for me to sit down and relax. Like I just want to do stuff. My mind races all the time, and my physical, if I cannot get outside and go for my walk, like we're getting to winter time right now. And sometimes we get like snow and rain. It's crazy here in Boise, but when it freezes, it's like scary to kind of walk outside. It's not safe for me. And I usually do it early in the morning, and I can't really see the ground that well. So I don't want to risk my physical health by falling and injuring myself just so I could get outside and walk. But man, not being able to get up in the morning and do that has just been very difficult for me. So that's been tough because I've got all this energy. Like I just wake up refreshed. My body is more able to recover at night when I sleep. I sleep better. You know, during the day, I'm just 100 miles an hour all the time. And it's awesome. But when there's not that ability to get out and release that energy, it's had some stress on me a little bit. It's like, oh man, I'm used to doing this thing. And here's what I do. And then, man, you can't do that. Holy crap, it's like very uncomfortable to not be able to do the things that you do that helped you lose the weight. And that's what the really biggest thing is. And that's what number 3 comes down to be, is I don't really desire the same things that I used to, and I don't look forward to the same things that I used to. Like, for example, if you want to lose weight, you don't do it overnight, right? You have to create a process of change and a pattern and a routine that you complete over and over and over a long period of time, which changes the way that you do everything. The way that you eat, the way that you drink water, the way that you move, how you sleep. All of these pieces become how you do stuff. And in that, you change the actions that you used to take. And those actions are no longer valid in your world. And so let me give you a good example here. Carl's Jr. Give me a thumbs up if you guys have ever eaten at Carl's Jr. Some of their food's okay, some of it's not. But my favorite thing is breakfast food. I absolutely love the biscuits at Carl's Jr. They have the best biscuits I've ever eaten. I used to wake up on the weekends and it was just this automatic response for me to want to just drive down to Carl's Jr. And you could get them like 2 for $4. They're super cheap. So I get me a couple of those, get my son a couple of those. Kid's like 6'2", 220. He could definitely eat as much as me. And, you know, that would be like a regular thing every weekend. But that was just the Carl's Jr. I love Taco Time. I worked at a Taco Time for like 5 years and never got tired of their food. And we got a couple here in Boise. There's one like 10 minutes from me. I would go get a couple of burritos and just whatever I wanted. But this was like a consistent part of how I ate, was I looked forward to all these amazing fast food things. Because when you get to a point in financial stability where you can buy what you want to eat, the choices open up and it's holy crap, what do I really want? And you fulfill that need for what I want over and over and over instead of what should I eat? Yeah, now I went through the ringer of being able to eat whatever I want for quite a long time. I got to get across the street here. Telling me to turn my phone. Okay. So I went through the whole gamut of like doing that self-fulfillment of what I want all the time for a long time. And most of that, what you want, is what feels good in the moment. What does it taste like while I'm eating it? That's the biggest priority. And man, I got to eat some really awesome food. But most of that really awesome tasting food made me gain weight. And so that was hard for me, right? Like, I used to be a personal trainer for a long time. I did that for like 7 years. Showing other people how to get themselves in shape. You know, as a nutritionist, I know how all this stuff works. I have the knowledge, but I got away from doing the actions that I know it takes to actually get you healthy, right? Because you don't need to lose weight. You need to change the actions that cause you to gain weight. That's what it all comes down to. And so in this process of losing, the close to 50 pounds, I'm only 5 pounds away from breaking 200. I haven't been under 200 pounds since I was in my 20s. And so it's exciting, the journey that I'm going on, and all of the negatives I'm talking about are actually, very small compared to all the positives that come with this. So it's worth the pros and cons. But for me to be able to now go actually eat any kind of negative food, like I took my wife out last night. We have a restaurant here in town we love to go to. My wife is actually allergic to shrimp, but she can eat fried coconut shrimp. Not regular shrimp, it makes her like swell up, her lip gets all bubbled up. But she's able to eat these coconut shrimp, and so we go do that, but they're fried, right? And I don't eat that kind of stuff regularly anymore. And so we go have that thing, and it tastes good in the moment. Fantastic coconut shrimp. But man, the next day, I'm feeling it. My gut's feeling it. My energy levels are feeling it. Like, it's amazing how getting yourself into a healthy place affects so many big level things that no longer have you wanting to do the same things that you used to do, right? Going out and eating this shit food. I used to have no problem. I could go out and eat as much as I wanted to. And I would get up and I probably actually didn't feel that good, but I was used to it. That's the scary part, is when you are not aware of how that actually impacts you. Because you've done it so long, you're used to that being the normal of feeling like shit when you wake up the next day. Feeling just full as could be. You got to get up and your stomach hurts and you're dehydrated and just no energy, and you don't even want to get out of bed. Like, everything is just a downhill snowball, right? And so all of these pieces have come together by changing like small daily actions. And it sounds so cliche, but holy crap, it's taken me. I haven't been a personal trainer for, going on like 7 or 8 years. It's been a long time since I did that. And I did that for 7 years prior to that. So I've been basically on a 15-year journey to dial in the action steps of what it's taken for me to change where I'm at physically. I've gone through so many different types of diets and workouts. I've seen them all. I tried them all. I had people who paid me to show them how to do them. I didn't know. They're like, oh, what about this? Okay, cool. Let's try it. You pay me $50 an hour. I'll do whatever you want. And I've gone through the gamut. I've seen what's out there. I don't really follow the same mainstream culture of like, put yourself on these hard diets and go to the gym and work your ass off and, work off of 4 hours of sleep and sacrifice and kill yourself. Like, that's not sustainable, guys. It's so funny because when I did personal training, I got to work with an array of people from their teens. I had kids that were like 14. Their parents buy them personal training because they're a little bit overweight. They want the kid to start exercising. Well, guys, buying them 3 sessions to come hang out with me is not going to change their life. Sorry to say. But I was cool taking the money because that's what I was there for, right? But I got to work with people all the way up in their 70s and 80s. I had one lady that was a client of mine for 4.5 years. And she stayed with me well beyond the point of seeing any actual results. Yeah, she lost some weight and got stronger. She actually was a triathlete. She did Ironman. Like, she was crazy. But she stayed with me long term for 2 reasons: accountability and motivation. Had nothing to do with new knowledge. It was just a matter of fact, if I was there at the gym and she was expected to show up and I was going to be there waiting for her, she wouldn't miss her appointment. If I wasn't there, her ability to get into the gym was a lot less, right? And so that's what it comes down to, is like, I found that, yes, you have to have knowledge. You have to know what the hell it is that you need to eat. You have to know how to move on a regular basis. You have to have a good sleep schedule. You got to have an understanding of water intake and having that be a piece of your regular day. But all that is not new knowledge. You can look that up anywhere on the internet. But what is important is having a group of accountability pieces, not one. If you just have like a tracking sheet, that doesn't really get you very far, right? If you just write it down and you're only accountable to yourself, at some point you'll probably give up. And the health thing is change over time. It's processes we do consistently over time, and health is not seasonal, guys. This is what I always was so blown away with at the personal training game, was that people would only come in and buy 3 sessions because it was the smallest dollar amount, which equals the lowest commitment. Okay? Every single person who ever only bought 3 sessions from me never lost weight. And it wasn't because I teach differently in any way for people who had more sessions. It was just because we repeated the processes longer. And the people who put more money down on the bigger packages, it was actually cheaper per session. If you bought 3 sessions, it was $50 a session. If you bought 20, it was $35. But you had to put down $700. That's a commitment for people, right? Somebody's saying, oh, I don't have $700. Well, okay, but you don't have any other choices of ways to make this happen without the accountability and motivation that comes with that dollar amount. Because the knowledge is out there. You go talk to any personal trainer about how to get in shape, they're all going to tell you the same thing. You need to eat healthy foods. You need to exercise regularly. You need to drink water. You need to get enough sleep. You need to do it's the same. It's not a special process. But what is hard is to consistently do those process steps over and over and over, day in and day out. That's where people really end up failing, because they feel like, I can do this for a little bit and I can get some results and then I can go back to what I was doing before. How the hell are you going to go back to what you were doing before and stay where you're at now? That was always my first question, is after these 3 sessions you just bought from me, what's your plan after that? No one ever had a plan. The entire set of action steps was simply based on the commitment level. I only got enough dollars to pay for 3 sessions. Okay, well, what's your plan after that? What steps are you taking? Who's your accountability partner after that? Guys, if it's worth it for you, if your health is important enough that you are willing to make the commitment to change it, why would you ever go back? First of all, why would you want to invest anything into steps of what you're doing to change your health and improve it with a temporary mindset to I only have to do it for a little while and then I can go back? Going back is going to get you the same results that you have right now. So this has to be a permanent change. And if this is important enough, why the hell would you wait for anything? Why would you wait until next week or when I have money or New Year's Day? That's the dumbest thing in the world. So this is a long live. But guys, if you have a New Year's resolution, it's not going to work. Never have I seen somebody that says, this year I'm changing my life and I'm doing this thing. If that is a thing that you are serious about doing, and especially when it comes down to fitness and health, because it is not temporary, it is a lifetime commitment. This is something you got to do every day. There are days where you can cheat a little bit, but your health is a result of the most of the time action. What you do most of the time is what you see as your health. So if you aren't willing to make that lifetime commitment, don't even get in the game, right? You can do a little bit here and there if you want or whatever, but that's not going to get you where you want to be. If you actually want to be healthy, then you have to commit to it. And if it's serious enough to commit to for that long, why would you wait until New Year's? If you're saying, hey, I've got Christmas coming up, and I've got a New Year's Eve party, and I've got, my wife's Valentine's is a big deal, and then right after that is St. Patrick's Day. Like, these are excuses based on the activities that have got you to where you are. You've set up an expectation in your head of, here's how I operate. I go to these parties and I drink and I eat crappy food and I don't get enough sleep and I don't move around. But as soon as January 1st comes around, I'm changing everything. It doesn't work that way. The day of the week or the time of the year has no impact on how your body responds to the activities you do, okay? It's very important to understand. Health is not seasonal. It is not based on the calendar. And so it is based on your ability to take the steps of what you need to do to be healthy. And that includes accountability and motivation. And those are the two biggest things that I've had to learn myself and implement in my own daily actions, is those accountability and motivation pieces, and figuring out how to put that out there for the people that I'm involved with so that they see what I'm doing. We got a dog catching me.
Sorry about that.
You're good. But figuring out those pieces and doing them consistently over and over and over long enough to where it just became the way that I operated. So that now it is hard on me to not be able to do that stuff. Once you have done something for long enough, your body and your mind gets used to that. And you do it as an automatic. And those automatic responses are subconscious. You don't think about it. You just do it. That's part of how you do it. And you become really comfortable doing those things. And then when you can't, holy crap, it's weird. It's uncomfortable, especially physically for me. I got energy. I got to get out. I have to move. If I don't go for a walk, oh my gosh, I just feel pent up. I got to get out here and move and get some energy out. It's not about, I'm trying to burn calories and I'm trying to see how many miles I can go. Like, those are byproducts of the walk. But I feel good mentally after I get out here and walk. I feel good physically. It actually helps me release all this energy because my body is so much more efficient at processing calories now. So that's another negative byproduct, is like, I really don't have to eat near as much. And my body processes it so well that it actually burns the fat inside of me. So I don't have to eat more to get more energy. I just have to move, and it increases my metabolism, and my body starts burning the fat inside of my body. It's such an awesome thing, right? But guys, my long rant today is based on, 15 years I've been in this health and fitness industry. And I've been on both sides of the coin of the really in shape and the really out of shape. And it took me probably about the last 4 years solid to hit the highest highs and the lowest lows within the last 15 years for me. Everything else was kind of an in-between and learning process. And so now I am putting together a system that is very much the result of this last 15 years, and especially the last 4 years, of implementing these steps in a structural way that is sustainable long term. And that's what I'm very excited about. As I have a way that I have found works extremely well for me, because I work from home, that I'm able to eat correctly, move consistently, get more than enough water, sleep at a very specific regimen. And the result of that now has been losing almost 50 pounds. 50 pounds over the last year. And that may not, be the biggest number you've ever heard, but that's 20% of my entire body weight. So that's a huge number for me. And I've been able to keep it off over that time because what I've done is sustainable. I'm not killing myself. I'm out here walking. Daily walking is a simple piece of my system that I have now implemented so consistently that it helps me burn calories, but it's become just part of what I do. And when I don't get to do it, it's actually kind of struggling for me. So I've had other things that I've also implemented that if I can't get outside, I've got movement that I can do on the inside in a structured way. And so figuring out all of the solutions to the problems that have held me back from losing weight and doing it consistently on a path that, man, I'm almost 40 years old. My body does not work the same way it used to when I was 20. And so having this ability to move forward every single day without the guesswork anymore, with knowing here's what I do today, here's what I do today, here's what I do today. It's a repetitive nature thing. And now it's just part of what I do, and I'm able to be energetic, I'm able to be healthy, I'm able to sleep better, I'm able to lose all this weight that now is forcing me to have to go buy new clothes. Man, it's a lot of, awesome problems that we're solving, right? So if you are struggling, if you work from home, this is very important. If you don't work from home, it's about the same, but my process is designed specifically for people who work from home. So if you work from home and you're struggling with your health in any way, let's connect, because what I am going to do is start an opportunity for people to go through these steps at a basic level. Okay, most like fitness programs are so intense and so short term, get your results now and hurry up and get to the place and whatever, that it's not sustainable. It's not something that you can continue to do for the rest of your life while still progressively seeing results. And so I'm opening up a small beta window that is going to launch here in about 2 weeks, and let people go through this process in a very hands-on approach. And what that means is having my direct involvement. So normally, this is going to be a do-it-yourself program because there's only so much of me to go around. I can only directly handhold so many people. And that is not a scalable process. And my goal is to help hundreds of thousands of people in the next couple of years to be able to really take control of these action steps that you go through on a daily basis and improve your health for the long run. We're not talking about, 6 packs in 6 weeks, right? Like, it doesn't work that way. Your body doesn't work that way when you get older. It doesn't work that way long term, because the things that you would have to do to go from where you are now to a 6-pack in 6 weeks, you are destroying yourself. It's not actually that healthy. You have to have a progressive, controlled way to make sure that if you're losing the weight, your body is adjusting to that at a scalable process, and you can continue to do these things for the rest of your life. So I'm going to give out the opportunity for anybody who is listening to this. If you put a comment below this that says, "I want in," this is a very long video. I have no idea how long I've been walking out here, but like probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And this is gonna be offered for people that are listening for this and are committed to be able to get in on this new launch and work with me directly for the accountability and motivation to institute the steps that you have to go through on a daily basis for the rest of your life to be able to control your health. And it's a commitment. It's a lifetime commitment. You don't have to commit to me for life. You gotta commit to yourself, because that's what it ultimately comes down to, is your own character is defined as the things that you do when no one is watching. That's most of the world. Most of the stuff that you do is done while no one is watching. So the times when people are watching, if you interact with people who are there to help you stay motivated and be accountable for all those actions that you take when they're not there, then you can win. That's the biggest thing that I learned as a personal trainer, was accountability and motivation are so much more important than knowledge. Yes, I have some really cool stuff that I can teach you. I have some really simple processes that I can help you implement. But the thing that I cannot help you do is be accountable or motivated unless you commit. And that's the hard part that's on you. So if you want to be involved in this, leave me a comment in the threads here that says, I want in, and I'll reach out to you directly in a DM. And we can get you started on this path here in about 2 weeks. It's not a New Year's resolution thing, but that's just the timeline for when this will be ready to roll this out, right? So I appreciate you guys, honestly. Like, everyone says those kinds of things, that they like the people that they're around, but my group is small. If you're watching this, I probably talk to you directly. I don't have a huge group of fake people around me. And that's very important, because cultivating the people that you interact with is what really determines who you become as a person. All right? So if you guys are listening to this, we're probably closely connected already. You probably know who I am. You've probably talked to me directly. So write I want in the comments. I'll reach out to you, get you set up into the early access portion of this, and we'll get to work together through a process that is very basic. And you will help by providing feedback and understanding of what it is that you're doing, and questions and solutions, and all these things get to actually help the people that are also involved in this with you. And that's what's also cool is, yes, it's individual, but you get a support from a community. And that is so much more valuable than I ever realized. Because when I did personal training, it was always one-on-one. I only worked with one person at a time, sometimes two. You know, I did couples and that kind of stuff, but it was always one-on-one directed. I wasn't really involved with the other people that were at the gym. But because there were other people at the gym, the people I was working with didn't want to get caught slacking. They wanted to show up and work hard, not for themselves, but because they could see other people watching them. Not everybody had a personal trainer, so it was kind of a big deal already. Oh, this dude's got a trainer. What are they doing? They were watching these guys, what kind of workouts we were doing, how intensely we worked, whatever. But what they didn't hear, because they were too far away, was the extra stuff that I told the person between the push-ups and squats that helped them have the right mindset. I was able to walk them through how to make conscious choices and be aware in the moment of conscious choice. Most of the stuff we do is based on subconscious automatic reaction. Okay, and I don't want to get too scientific right now, but guys, if you are not aware in the moment when it comes time to put food in your mouth, you're going to do it however you've done it in the past. You're going to pick up the junk and put it in there and not think twice about it, right? So I would give them mindset pieces that they would take out so that when they weren't with me, they were thinking about the things that I told them. And then they would have an accountability piece coming back that would, we would discuss the things that they did. And so I helped them make better choices in the moment, and I helped them have that accountability afterwards to track what was going on. So we could say, oh, it's not a guessing game of what steps you've taken and what steps you haven't. If you're not tracking what you're doing, you're gonna forget. You do so much stuff in a day, you can't remember it all. So if you don't have a way to track what your steps are and incrementally see your progress, you're not gonna celebrate all the wins correctly. If your goal is to lose 20 pounds and you only lose 5 this week, oh, I didn't get to 20 pounds. Yeah, but you're 5 pounds less than you were before. And if you could see that happen in week after week, oh, I lost 2 this week, I lost 3 this week, oh man, I had a 7-pound week, whatever. Never are you losing 20 pounds in a week, which is kind of an unrealistic goal, but getting consistently better than you were last week or yesterday or a few minutes ago. That's the step. The consistency in taking these actions every day over a period of time is what allows you to actually improve your health on a long-term scale. So again, if you're watching this still to the end, I really appreciate you. You're committing to this, at least listening to my words. And so if this is something that you're serious about, you work from home, you want to take control of your fitness and health for a long period of time, which is essentially the rest of your life, right? I want in the comments, and I will go ahead and reach out to you, and we will get you in on the early access, and we'll get started with this. I don't even really want to say the name yet. I don't want to say the name of the program yet, because I know as soon as I get this out here, it's going to be a lot of involvement. And so I won't get to have that direct connection with people the way that I will in this early access piece. So guys, this is my offer for you to be able to really take control with the accountability and motivation pieces that is not going to be there consistently for everybody, right? This is a piece that is really, really tough to find and really expensive in any case. People's time is their most valuable resource, and so it usually costs a lot to get them to give it up. So I'm going to offer this to you guys for absolutely nothing. This is going to be part of the early access program. And so write I want in the comments. I'll reach out to you. We'll make sure that you get set up with the steps to start on January 1st with us. And we are going to do some things together, really together. And that's the biggest piece that will really change how you feel every day. And hopefully my goal is to get you to experience these same 3 worst problems that I go through. None of your clothes fit anymore. You got too much energy to even sit down and relax sometimes. And number 3, you don't look forward to the same crappy stuff that you did before with partying and drinking and eating a bunch of bad crap. All right? So guys, right, I want in. We'll get you in on the early access of this, and I will see you here very soon. Have a good day.